Hello guys, and welcome to my first video. If you found this, congrats, you're right first to the channel. So today we'll be talking about how to use guns in erlc and some extra notes about them. Yeah, this is mostly a beginner's guide, like a real beginner's guide to gaming who just so happens to join this game first. Without further ado, let's just get started. Alright, so let's start off with where to get guns. Alright, so for civilians, guns are something that you have to buy yourself with the in-game money. Alright, so give it some time. Let me just speed run my drive there. Okay, great. Alright, here we are at the gun store, right? So this is where civilians can get their guns. You have to come up here and you got a whole selection here of guns you can buy. Civilians, they can only get their guns here, and civilians can only get the guns here, and if you're working a civilian job, like the fast food worker or the doctor's job, like the hospital workers, you can't own the gun. The only job where you can do so is in the bank job, right? It's a bank worker job, where because you gotta be aware of those pesky robbers, you have to use your gun to shoot them down. All right, but the other part is the police. So if we go over to the police team here, so as you can see, I already got an M4A1 equipped. So you get your guns in this locker right here. It's literally called the armory, right? And it's just the lethal here. All right. So all these guns here, well, most of them, at least, they are free to. They're actually free. It's just that they're locked behind some XP you need to earn, because these are all rank locked instead of money locked. All right. The only two guns that require you to pay Robux for it, well, with exception from the big guns game pass in the civilian store, is the G36. It's not fully loaded up here for some reason, and the Orsis T5. No, the Orsis T5000. All right, so you got this gun right here. Yeah. So, without further ado, let's start with the basic gun controls. So, of course, you have your universal controls for shooting these guns. Alright, so left mouse to fire, right mouse to ADS, or aim down sights. Alright, and if you need to reload, press R. So those are your universal controls. Now some guns, like the M4A1 I have right here, as well as the Glock 17 and the G36, some of them, they have a flashlight right here. Alright, wait, before I go on, pressing F will actually put your gun in a quote-unquote safe mode, alright? So this is me pressing F right now. If you press F, you should be able to lower your gun and you can go into free cam. Alright? So anyways, some guns here, they have this flashlight right here. So there's this flashlight right here. Now this isn't just accessory. By pressing L, you can actually access this flashlight. Take a look. Boom. So just by pressing L, this is similar to controls on your car. Yeah. If you go in third person mode, you can actually jump around. But locking yourself in first person mode, and you aren't able to do that for some reason. Alright. Anyways, for this game, there's a specific amount of ammunition you can use for each gun. So if you refer to your bottom right of your screen, you can actually see this. So the 31 here shows how many rounds are in your gun, like how much is in the chamber, and the right one is how much you have in reserve. So in this case, the M4A1, it has 31 in the chamber right now, and 154 in reserve. All right, so the next one. Okay, all guns here are subjected to one type of fire mode: semi-auto, full auto, pump action, or bolt action. All right, so semi-auto guns are for guns that guns that require you to press your left mouse button each time before it can shoot a round. So an example is going to be like the Glock 17, which has the light function is over here, as you can see. So pressing the left mouse button one time, and you can get one round out of it. Alright, gotta reload this. So with that in mind, we also got the full autos. So going back to our M41, let's go for the MP5, right? MP5 heckler. So you got the MP5 right here, and this gun is a full auto. So just press and hold, and you got all these rounds spitting out. Check it out. All right. So this is the MP5, and now some guns, they are subjected to one. Okay, all guns are subjected to one type of fire mode, but there's also two other fire modes in the game, which is pump action and bolt action, which kind of goes to the semi-auto family, but they're just slower overall. So the pump actions are for shotguns. Right, you got the firearm FP6 here, for example, and I don't know if you can see it, but if you can see that little gray part right there. Let me just show you. So you see this huge pump right here, and so when you're shooting it, you have to wait until the slide goes back in. Let me show you. So I fire a round, you can see it sliding. All right, here's another one just in case you didn't see it. So if you want to rapid fire this, you have to time your shots correctly so that once the pump goes back in, you can shoot the gun fast enough. But this isn't always guaranteed though. So let me show you how I so-called rapid fire this. Alright, so that thing went good. Let's try this again. There's some instances where even if you like time the pump going back in, right? It won't necessarily fire the next round immediately. Sometimes there's this weird delay that happens. Alright, you also got the bolt actions, and so the bolt actions is they are locked behind a paywall. Yeah, but I got an Orsys T5000 here to show you. So without further, so this thing has a special scope, right? So you can zoom in if you need to see a target. Alright, so these snipers, they're all bolt action. So you press, and you can see that little bar at the back going back and stuff, right? So it's the same principle here. You gotta wait until the bolt goes back in, and then you can like shoot the next round. Now, despite being reloads being one of the most lowest of quality, one thing erlc did do to the damage of the guns is adding a range penalty and body hit penalty. So the further you are from the target, the worse the damage. And compared to shooting in someone's leg, shooting at the head will provide a much more damage. So yeah, this is basic knowledge. Alright, it also depends on what type of gun you're using. So if you're using a gun like the Orsys T5000, this thing can blast people to death if you manage to get a headshot on them. So the damage output would still be very high even at long ranges, because this gun is specifically built for long range combat, whereas using a shotgun at close range will garner higher damage output, since this is a short range defensive gun with a pellet spray of 5, and each pellet doing its own small damage output. So yeah, there you go. Your basic guide to guns in erlc. Pretty simple and straightforward, but I hope newbies to the game will gain a better understanding on how guns work here. And if you're seeing this, thank you for being part of my first video. I will not just be pumping out content on erlc, like I said, but also be pumping out content about Legal County and Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5. Alright, stay tuned. This is Lavabird, going 10-7.